Hey Torn Tigers, welcome to week 3 of our In and Around Michigan adventure. This week we are going to touch on, again, Michigan's economy. We're talking about East Central. You can see me moving the cursor around here. East Central, it's kind of in the light purple there, I'd call it maybe. East Central Michigan, the thumb area. And as always, if you go to your weekly pamphlet here to page 2, you'll see the East Central Michigan by county economy. Goes 2 pages here. You can see each of the county names and then how each of those counties is dominated by different industries, county by county. So again, all this information comes from Data USA. So if you want to check that out, you can look up any county, probably in the United States, but definitely any county in Michigan. So let's move over to our presentation, and we'll talk a little bit about East Central Michigan economy. So again, East Central Michigan, we're talking about the thumb area, kind of in this region right here. Here are our 10 counties for this week. We've got Bay County, Genesee County, Huron County, Lapeer County, Midland County, Saginaw County, Sanilac County, Shiawassee County, St. Clair County, and Tuscola County. You can see on this net economy impact little chart here that over in the thumb area, you can see is one of the highest economic regions in the state. Our south central area is our biggest area, and the thumb being one of those quadrants of our largest economic portions of the state. So our top industries in East Central Michigan, again, like most of our state, dominated by human services, manufacturing, retail trade, food services, and then we see the construction trade start to creep in here. This is a direct connection to how well that region of the state is doing. Population is increasing, number of jobs available is increasing, so we see need for construction in these areas, not just for residential, but also for new businesses going up and retail shops and things like that. As population increases, so do the number of businesses, restaurants, shops, shopping centers, grocery centers, all those things come along with population. Our honorable mention here, as we start to head a little bit more north into this region, we see some things pop up like agriculture and outdoor gaming. Those economies start to increase as well. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go here. Again, human services, we've got all different fields here. So we've got anything from your counseling to teachers. We've added in here hair salons and personal care industries. You can see somebody getting their nails done here. Maybe you like to get your nails painted. Maybe you like to get your hair done at the salon. There's many salon services, massages, things like that, all in the human services range. And there's got to be people that perform these jobs. So I think we think of the healthcare service and our nurses and our nursing homes. We've got a lot of the healthcare service areas here, but we also have many other people that work in human services. Anything that's directly related to helping people out is human care services. So like we talked about last week, deliver your grandma flowers, help your neighbor mow their grass, pick up your neighborhood. Any of those can be wonderful human service categories. Manufacturing, again, Human services this week took over as the number one spot, but manufacturing is a close second still in this region. And we see some different things here. When we think manufacturing, especially in Michigan, here's our assembly line. We think a lot about that, but there's also different things. So you can see a guy down here, he's doing some resurfacing work, manufacturing some panels. We see up here behind me, we've got some manufacturing of beets. And you see the final product here coming out in bags. We've got things from just gallon jugs, manufacturing of the containers, filling of the containers, different products. You see, I believe, some face masks being made here, some different plants that have kind of switched around what they do normally to work during COVID-19. So manufacturing can be just about anything. If it's a product, it probably had to be manufactured in some way, put together, packaged, and the manufacturing of just packaging alone is a major field. So if you're good at putting things together, if you're good at piecing things, if you're good at puzzling, any of that is great manufacturing skills that you can work on. Again, retail trades, like we said, obviously shopping malls. We get further into the north and we start seeing some of these outdoor markets, like down here, a lot of the small mom and pop shops, handmade crafts, things like that. There's a lot of opportunity for retail. We see a lady down here working the counter, counting money, using the computer system, checking people out. Retail includes the sale of foods. So we see, as we talk about agriculture, we'll see that a lot of our beef comes from this area. So this is a sales point for some of those products. Goodwill Industries, another storefront market. And as we see construction increase in this area, we see a lot of our big box stores, so like Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot. And again, in the retail trades, there's anything from stocking shelves to making sales to management to cleaning, a lot of different areas of work and trade within retail sales. Again, food services. We've got all the normal things that you think of when we think of food services. We've got a cook here, we've got a waiter, but we often forget about the ins and outs of a restaurant and food service. So that also includes the people who are working behind the scenes. You've got to have people to wash dishes. You've got to have people to bus tables. Cleaning, you can see someone spraying and wiping down tables up here. You can see a guy at the top. He is doing the mopping and the cleaning after hours. So there's numerous jobs in and out of food services too that don't include just working with food or cooking the food, collecting money, the retail side of that also. So a lot of different opportunities within the food services. As we head north, we see some beautiful like scenic patio restaurants here close by the water. Again, we get a lot of beef production in the Thumb area, so we see a lot of barbecues popping up in this area and things that use those beef. So you can see a guy cutting beef up here. You can see some barbecue. So a lot of those type restaurants. Check over Mr. Terrence. I'm sure he's got some great insight to some great restaurants in the Thumb area. Here we go, construction trade. So if you like working with your hands, if you like building things, if you like teamwork, construction is a great field. And I think when we think of construction, we think of kind of this picture here, maybe a guy with a hard hat on or a guy building something here. But don't forget that a lot of women work in the construction field too. So a little celebrating of women in construction here in Michigan. Construction can be, as we see, residential down here, but it can also be construction of roads and businesses. We see many different areas of building construction trade. We've got electrical work down here. We've got plumbing work. There's so many facets of construction. And like we said, this central eastern side of the state is really growing. So there's a need for a lot of construction. So if you enjoy that type of work, look into the construction trades. We really, really need more people going into the trades than ever before. We've got to get back into it. We need a lot of our students and young people going into construction because it's highly important, it's highly needed, and it's a great, great field to make a living. Okay, we talked about agriculture, so take a quick look here at the agricultural in the central eastern area of Michigan. We look at this Michigan map and we see the green area. As we go from yellow to green on our chart, that shows the percentage of cropland that is in those counties. And we really see through this strip across central into eastern central Michigan, we see a lot of the land that is dominated by crops. What crops are those? You can see down here on the chart, like we talked about, major crops are beans. We got two kinds of beans here. Your black beans and then your soybeans. We've got corn, and we've got a lot of that beef and cattle. This will be dairy cattle, and then we'd have beef cattle as well. So we got a little picture of some Holstein dairy cattle down here at a farm in eastern Michigan. The other cool thing we see is sugar production. So we don't really think of sugar production in Michigan, but when we look at the eastern side of the state, we see some cool things. We see one big company is Pioneer Sugars, and they do what we see down here at the bottom, which is sugar beets. Sugar beets kind of look like a carrot or another root, and they come out of the ground. And then they get taken in these trucks here after they're picked up, and then they come to the plants to be processed. So they get picked up out of the field, such as many crops with combines and different machinery like you see here. So obviously we got our corn on the cob, we got sweet corn and a lot of field corn in this area. Sweet corn is what we all eat. Field corn is what the cattle would eat. And since we have a lot of cattle in this area, we need a lot of corn to go along with that. So here you see some sweet corn, but there's also majority of the corn in this area would be field corn for feeding our agricultural animals. Got some soybeans here. These are soybeans that are late in the season, dried up and ready for picking. Soybeans used in a lot of different things. So that is our checkup on economy for the eastern, again right here, eastern central portion of Michigan, the thumb. A lot of cool things going on there. If you get a chance to get over to east central Michigan, go check out the beautiful land in that area and the surging economy. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great week, Torrent Tigers. We'll see you again on Thursday.